You're already on the path to ironclad mental fortitude. Stop everything for a moment, my friend. If these words are reaching you right now, it means something profound has already begun shifting deep within your core. You're not here by accident. That restlessness you feel, the way mediocrity now tastes like poison in your mouth, that's not a curse. It's the universe answering the decision your spirit made long ago. You see, ironclad mental fortitude isn't built by chasing it in the future. It is forged in the fire of who you are becoming today. The man who once bent to every wind of emotion, every distraction, every fleeting doubt. That man is fading. In his place stands one who is already laying the foundation stones of an unbreakable mind. Look around at your life. Notice how the chaos no longer owns you like it used to. That's the sign. True strength doesn't announce itself with fanfare. It whispers through the changes in your habits, your thoughts, your very presence. And today, I'm here to reveal that you, yes you, are already well on the path to mental fortitude that no storm can shatter. The path where weakness is transmuted into power, where your mind becomes a fortress that attracts the very success and peace you seek. Listen closely. What follows will confirm what your soul already knows. You have awakened to the mental chaos that once ruled unchecked, where the old you drowned in endless scrolling, notifications pulling at your attention like scattered winds tearing through an open field. Now, something has changed. You catch yourself mid-scroll and feel the pull as poison. That intolerance is not weakness surfacing. It is the first crack in the old foundation, the moment the seed of fortitude pushes through the soil. The man who once sought distraction to numb the noise now craves clarity, like a warrior craves clean air before battle. You close the apps without thinking. You sit in the silence and let the thoughts rise without fleeing them. This is no small shift. This is the universe meeting your quiet decision. I will no longer be scattered. And because you've chosen it, the mind begins to settle, like a stormy sea, calming to still waters under the command of its captain. Another powerful sign, you're already advancing deeper into this path. The watcher has emerged within you. You no longer react to every thought as truth. Old patterns had you whipped by doubt, anger, fear, a slave to the first impulse that crossed the mind. But now, you observe. You see the thought arise like a cloud passing through the sky, and you simply watch. No judgment at first, just presence. That's mastery beginning to breathe. You pause before the reply, before the rage, before the spiral. This thought is not me, you whisper inside. And in that space between stimulus and response, your true power is born. The man who once identified with every fleeting emotion has become the sovereign who directs them. Look at how you handle a setback now. You don't collapse. You note it, detach, and choose the next move. This is not coldness. This is the fortress walls rising. Quiet, deliberate, unbreakable. And here's another unmistakable indicator that the forging has begun. Discomfort has become your ally, the crucible calling you forward. The old version of you ran from pressure, sought comfort in the easy chair, the quick pleasure, the path of least resistance. Now you feel the itch for challenge, and you lean in. You choose the cold shower, not for likes, but because your mind hungers for the temporary. You seek the hard conversation, the extra set, the early rise when the body screams to stay down. This is not masochism. This is the blacksmith heating the iron. You are the iron, and the heat is life testing your resolve. The universe does not hand fortitude to the comfortable. It grants it to the man who steps willingly into the fire. You feel the burn and smile because you know. Every ounce of resistance is shaping the blade. You no longer avoid the crucible. You seek it because you understand that only fire reveals the steel already inside you. Your fortress walls are rising higher still. You have mastered the power of no without guilt or apology. Energy drains once slipped through every crack. Toxic conversations, endless obligations, people who left you lighter only in spirit, but heavier in exhaustion. The old you said yes to keep peace, to avoid conflict, to feel needed. Now the gates close naturally. You protect your mental space like a king guards his realm, because scattered attention is the silent killer of all strength. No rolls off your tongue, not as rejection, but as reverence for the mission you alone can see. You decline the late-night scroll, the draining meeting, the invitation that pulls you from your center. And in that boundary, power accumulates. This is not selfishness. This is the man who has decided his mind is sacred ground. The universe respects the boundary setter. Doors you never forced begin to open because your energy now flows only where it builds. You have also started to crave solitude as your sanctuary, the workshop where the real work happens. Once loneliness terrified you, filling every quiet moment with noise or company, just to feel something. Now you seek the empty room, the long walk alone, the hour with nothing but your thoughts on the page. In that space, the mind expands. You journal the truths others fear to face. You plan the moves that will redefine your days. Solitude is no longer empty. It is the forge where ideas become iron, where character is hammered into shape without interruption. The man who once feared his own company now thrives in it because he knows the greatest battles are won in silence before they ever reach the field. Look at your calendar. You've carved those pockets deliberately. That's not withdrawal. That is strategic mastery, the builder stepping back to survey and strengthen the entire structure. Another sign you're already on this path. Your inner dialogue has transformed from doubt to command. The voice that once whispered, "You can't handle this, why always me, maybe later," has been replaced by the voice of the warrior. Now it speaks in declarations. "I will endure. This will strengthen me. I am becoming." You no longer beg your mind for permission. You issue orders it obeys. Language is power, and yours has sharpened. You catch the old phrase mid-thought and correct it instantly. "I am," instead of "I hope." This shift is subtle, yet seismic. The man who spoke weakness into existence now speaks strength into being. Cause and effect in its purest form. Your words shape your reality, and you have already begun wielding them like a sword, forged true. Repeat them in the quiet hours, and watch how the external world bends to match the internal command. The alchemy of setbacks is now at work inside you. Failures that once crushed the old you, the lost opportunity, the harsh feedback, the plan that crumbled, are no longer defeats. They are raw material. You take the pain, the lead of disappointment, and transmute it into steel. Every scar becomes data. Every fall becomes fuel. The man who once let setbacks define him now lets them refine him. You review the collapse without self-pity, extract the lesson, and rise stronger. This is the law of play. What the weak mind breaks upon, the fortified mind is built upon. Pain is no longer the enemy, but the sculptor chiseling away everything that is not ironclad. You feel the weight of a recent blow, and instead of shrinking, you feel the mind expand. The universe sends these tests precisely to the man who has decided to pass them. Your daily rituals have become non-negotiable armor. Mornings no longer drift into chaos. You rise with intention, sit in silence, move the body, feed the mind with words that build rather than distract. You track your inputs like a warrior inventories his weapons, what thoughts enter, what energy leaves. The old you waited for motivation, letting feelings dictate the day. Now systems rule. The ritual is done regardless of mood, because you understand that consistency forges the unbreakable far beyond any fleeting spark. Look at how your day begins now. The structured hour before the world wakes, the deliberate choices stacked like bricks in the wall. This is not routine. This is the daily tempering that turns ordinary metal into the blade that never dulls. Emotional storms no longer sweep your way. Anger rises, fear knocks, doubt whispers, yet you observe, breathe, and direct. The old reactive man was tossed like a leaf in the gale. The new man stands as the calm center while the winds rage around him. You feel the surge and choose the response. That single breath between trigger and action is where fortitude lives. You no longer suppress, you transmute. The energy of the storm fuels focused action instead of destruction. This mastery grows daily. Others may not see it yet, but you feel the difference in your chest, the steadiness that says, "I am larger than this feeling." The universe respects the man who rules his inner weather. Storms still come, but they find no purchase on your walls. You have stepped into detachment from outcomes, focusing instead on the process and the character you are becoming. Validation, results, applause, these no longer control your peace. The old you tied worth to external wins, riding the roller coaster of circumstance. Now you tie worth to the man you prove yourself to be in the unseen hours. You show up, do the work, release the rest. This freedom is liberation. The mind unclenches, energy flows cleaner, and ironically, the results accelerate, because desperation no longer clouds your vision. The man who once chased approval now commands his own respect, and in that command, true power settles. Discernment has sharpened like never before. You curate what enters the fortress: books, media, conversations, people. Only that which strengthens the steel gains entry. The old you consumed indiscriminately, letting weak ideas and draining souls slip through the gates. Now the filter is automatic. You sense the energy drain before it lands and redirect. This is not elitism. This is preservation of the most valuable asset you own, an ironclad mind. You choose influences that expand you, conversations that challenge you upward. The universe responds in kind, bringing aligned forces to the man who guards his input with the gravity of a king. Time has become sacred in your hands. You no longer say, "maybe later," or let hours slip unnoticed. Every block is guarded with fierce intention. The old scattered life let days dissolve into nothing. Now each hour serves the mission. You protect the deep work blocks, the recovery blocks, the creation blocks. Distractions are identified and eliminated without negotiation. This reverence for time is the mark of the man who understands that fortitude is built, one protected minute at a time. The universe honors the steward of hours. Momentum gathers where attention is locked. Deep roots are growing through every layer of adversity you face. Storms hit harder than ever, yet you stand firmer. Like the ancient oak whose roots plunge deeper precisely because the winds test them. Your character expands under pressure. The man who once snapped under weight now absorbs it and grows taller. You feel the pressure, and instead of breaking, your foundation thickens. This is the quiet miracle happening now, the unseen strengthening that no one sees until the day you tower unshakable. Quiet confidence is rising within you, needing no announcement. You walk differently, speak less but with weight. The fortress is felt in your presence before a word leaves your mouth. Others notice the calm power. The old you needed to prove strength. Now it simply is. This inner certainty is the reward of every choice you've already made. And finally, the legacy mindset has taken hold. You think beyond your own years, how this ironclad mind will ripple into your world, your family, your world. The man who once lived for the moment now builds for generations. Your fortitude is no longer just personal, it is the foundation others will stand upon. This is inevitability speaking. The path is walked, the transformation is underway. Look around at your life now, my friend. These shifts aren't coincidences. They are the unmistakable markers that you are already walking the path of ironclad mental fortitude. The old self is fading. The new man, resilient, focused, unshakable, is rising. Success, peace, influence, they don't chase the weak. They are drawn to the one who has mastered his own mind. Because you have chosen this path, the universe is conspiring in your favor. Keep building. Keep choosing the hard right over the easy wrong. Your fortress is nearly complete, and from its walls, you will see farther than you ever imagined. You are no longer hoping for strength. You embody it. Ironclad, unbreakable, yours. Now go forth and live it.